Creativity is a funny thing. Often a trait we believe that's reserved for specific people, the lucky ones. Like when you're born, God blesses you with an eye for visuals or an ear for music. Sorry, kid. You either have it or you don't. Some people are gifted with the physical attributes that help in sports, but creative pursuits are uniquely different. The muscles needed exist in a league of their own. Often hear people say, "I'm not creative." Because when you read a book, hear a song, see a movie, you're experiencing the finished product. Unless you're involved in it directly, there's an entire process behind the scenes taking place that's messy. Here's a secret. It never gets easier. Even those at the top of their game still get scared, still have off days, still write, shoot, and sing terribly at times. You just don't see it. The day-to-day grind of any creative pursuit is difficult. There's self-doubt, comparison, and the fear can be overwhelming. It sounds discouraging, but there's also a real power in knowing that, because it levels the playing field. It may appear effortless in the final form, but what we don't see is often the amount of practice and time spent behind the scenes it took that person to get there. And the good news is, while it may not get easier, the more you do it, the better you get at showing up. The peaks and valleys of disappointment and progress are inevitable, but you learn to ride those waves better as you have experience to compare it to. The key is getting started, overcoming that initial resistance. How many of us want to do creative work but don't because we're scared of what people will think, scared to fail, scared of ourselves? The amateur believes he must first overcome his fear, then he can do his work. The professional knows that fear can never be overcome. What if you gave yourself the space to make mistakes? On the other side of doubt is often where the gold is. If you're willing to push through those difficult moments, you can find the gems. And as much as we feel called to create, we feel a pull in the opposite direction. Resistance. Stories we tell ourselves of why it won't work or why now isn't the right time. We look for excuses, and they're so easy to find. But you know when you're lying to yourself. Because resistance cannot be seen, touched, heard, or smelled, but it can be felt. Deep inside of us, this combination of fear, doubt, and expectations. We want to start shooting, cooking, or acting, and expect to be incredible in a week. Life doesn't work like that. Everything worth doing takes time. And if we're willing to remove ourselves from the outcome of needing to produce excellence right away, we can get there. Your potential might surprise you. Because no one makes hits every time they get in the studio. Even the best producers make bad movies. And the more you do it, the higher the chances you have to stumble on those moments of genius. If we find more meaning in the action of simply creating, rather than results of what we accomplished from it, it's a powerful place to be. It's cliche, but there's an art in embracing the process. We must do our work for its own sake, not for fortune or attention or applause. We want to be recognized for our work, of course, but that can't be the sole reason we do it. The point of getting recognition or making money from the art is the opportunity to do it again, to stay in the game. It's better to be in the arena getting stomped by the bowl than to be up in the stands or out in the parking lot. It's easy to have an opinion from the sidelines. There will always be reasons not to start. I'm sure they're very logical, but I'd argue that creative people don't exist. Those making art are just like the rest of us. They just had the guts to do it.